Morning guys, today I'm going to be going through how we muck our straw beds here at the start of every day. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the middle, take all the drop-ins and all the wet and put them in the wheelbarrow. So we'll get started here. These beds should be pretty clean. We skip out about 4 times a day, so there shouldn't be too much to come out. All of our stables here, we've got nice big rubber mats just to help protect the horses. It's nice and soft for them as well, just for their legs. So as I'm working my way around, I'm going to keep flicking all the clean straw up onto the banks and just trying to make sure I don't miss anything, just so it's ready for when they come back in. So work our way around, trying to find any small drop-ins. We find these shaving forks are really good for the slightly smaller stuff, and it's also handy because you tend not to waste as much straw then as well. Last few pieces here to come out. We'll just keep piling it up as we work our way around the stable. A few more wet bits. So now that's all of the wet and all the drop-ins out the middle. What we do here on alternate days is we'll pull the bank down and pull it right out from under the bottom. So today I'm going to do this left-hand bank, tomorrow I'll do that back bank, and following I'll do that right-hand bank. So we're going to pull the bank all the way out into the middle. We're going to make sure we don't leave any of that wet stuff in there. That can make the bed smell a bit, makes it a bit damp, and it's not very nice to lie down on. You'll also find you might get a few drop-ins falling into the bank. So you can throw them in as you're doing it. This bank looks pretty dry, which is good. It means it's nice and clean for him. Brilliant. Just a tiny bit of wet here. That's about it. So now that we've done this, we're going to go around the whole bed, level it all out, and then we'll start building the banks up. Again, while I'm leveling this out, just keep an eye out. You might have missed a few drop-ins, maybe a little bit of wet stuff on the banks. So pulling it all down, just fluffing it all up so the bed's nice and big for when he comes back in. There we go, there's a few little drop-ins in the bank there. Out they go. For us on the yard, it's really important they've got a nice big bed to come back to. A lot of these horses are on the road a lot of the time of the year, so when they do come back to their home, to their stable, it's really nice for them to be able to lie down somewhere comfortable and somewhere clean. So now that we've got this bed nearly roughly level, we're going to start doing the fun bit and building these nice big banks up. It's really good to have big banks, just if they get cast or maybe kick out. It's a bit more protection for them, looks after their legs. We don't want any unwanted injuries. Look at that. Don't worry if you find a few drop-ins as you're going around, and just throw them out. You might have missed a few. We're just doing this one last bank now, and then be ready for a clean bit of bedding to go in as well. Try and level the banks out as you're going around, just so it's nice and even. I think we're looking good so far. Right, we'll get a bit more straw for him now. So they get clean straw every day. Again, you just want to make sure it's nice and big for them, comfortable in their stables. We'll just spread this out. You just want to be careful when you're spreading the straw. Sometimes it can come a bit lumpy and a bit hard, like that piece there. You just want to shake it up. Nothing uncomfortable for them. They might trip over it by accident. So we'll smash it all up, make it a nice good fluffy bed. I think this bed's looking a bit better than my bed at the minute. So now that this bed's nearly done, looks good to me. I think Junior's going to be happy. We'll just sweep the front up, make it all nice and tidy. We like to leave about a metre gap in the front here, just somewhere for them to have their hard feed and their hay, just so it doesn't get mixed up with all the straw. Once I've done this, we'll just check the water, make sure there's no straw, dust, maybe a bit of drop-ins, nice and clean. It's their only source of water, and then when they're in here, so it's super important that it's clean and they can always drink it. But this looks good now. I'm ready for Junior to come back in and we can start the day. Some of our horses are on straw and the others are on shavings. Some of them are on shavings because horses like Pumba, for example, he'll eat his bed all day and he'll gorge himself and he'll be full. So the shavings that we use is Jenkinson's Natural Flake. We found these are the best shavings because they're nice and big flakes, they absorb all the urine and they're completely dust free. So now I'm just going to add another bale to this bed, ready for when Pumba comes back. All finished. This looks pretty good to me. I think Pumba's definitely going to be chuffed when he comes back.